Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, dear friends. Welcome to Kardec Radio, where we are here to nourish our souls. I'm Nora Brazil, the host of this program, Soothing Pills of Trust, based on the book Pills of Trust by Dr. Diaz de Cruz and Andre Moreira. So I'm here in South Texas, and we are having a cold front. So I'm so excited. I have maybe 2 sweaters, friends. So I'm excited to wear one of my sweaters today. I'm like, yay! You know, it's so interesting because 2 days ago, people were out in shorts and just walking outside, and now we are wearing our coats and so forth. So it's just it's Texas weather. So you're so grateful for this beautiful weather. All right, friends. So today we're going to read chapter 31, Ask and You Shall Receive. I think that phrase in itself leads us right into prayer. Dear Mother, Father, God, Creator, Source, Light, thank you so much for this opportunity to be here, to study, to grow, to expand our awareness, grab different ideas, grab onto tools and resources that are helpful for our path. We ask our mentors and this program, Kardec Radio, God, in all the spirit guides, to inspire us today, to help us stay focused, and to really, really leave with something soothing for our souls. With that, we ask permission to begin the study, and so be it. All right, friends. So beautiful, right? What a beautiful phrase, affirmation, phrase of hope. And I love it because it's something so common, right? So it's always so nice when we get to discuss something that's common. It means that, you know, it's something available for us. It means that it is something important for us to know. And interestingly, I was looking at the book, and this is there's another chapter that also has this same title. So it's really something crucial for us to stop and ponder and really truly ask ourselves, do I really think about stuff like this, right? Or, you know, like the older phrases, do we just take them for granted? Sometimes lessons like this, where we have this phrase where it's brought up, and I think I made that comment in the other chapter that's entitled the same way, right? It's really bringing something and adding the current touch to it, right? The where we currently are standing in, and we're all in a different place of evolution, but no matter where we're at, we apply this, right? You can never get too old with the phrases like this. In other words, friends. We are going to start, and I'm not going to put the whole thing, just pieces, friends, but I always recommend that you go into the chapter, and also every time we read, we learn something new. So it begins by saying, on the Sermon on the Mount, it's safe to say Jesus wasn't stipulating a list of demands or requests consistent of needs and wishes for God's immediate attention. A being that acts in this way believes that the Father has a dry reservoir of blessings to be negotiated with humankind. So if we look at the Bible, Matthew chapters 5 through 7, really, that's where Jesus, right, presents his Sermon on the Mount. And there's so many issues that he touched on. And some of the ones that are here, the Beatitudes, the Lord's Prayer, ask, seek, knock. The narrow versus the wide gates, right? Being the salt and the light, loving our enemies, treasures in heavens, and do not worry. So when we think about those topics, those themes that Jesus was talking about, right, so advanced in his days, it really puts us into perspective. What are the important things for us to be requesting, to be aspiring for, right? And notice how in none of these do they have anything materialistic or anything that is like not to progress, to move forward, to collaborate with others, right? So, friends, when you have time, read Matthew 5 through 7. It is absolutely life-changing, and Yes, and think about this as we are going through the rest of the slides, because really, Dr. Diaz de Cruz starts off, right? That whole chapter, really basing it on this, on the Sermon on the Mount. So he continues, our Father does not cave before egoistic human interest, nor does he serve as if he were a magic lamp and mere provider of demands at the service of humankind desires, right? So, we've seen that movie Aladdin, right? You get the lamp and then the genie comes out and like make a wish, right? And so you think about the story, friends, and it's a perfect example for us to have a visual, right? So Aladdin starts to make wishes, and then Jafar gets a hold of that lamp, and what he wanted was what? Absolute power. And it turns out that at the end they tricked him, and he turns himself into a genie and is going to stay trapped in the lamp. Aladdin, on the other hand, gives his third wish to the genie and sets him free. What does this tell us? And I know I'm using a Disney example, friends, but it really tells us how childish sometimes we can be, right? Making our demands, right? And so it's a perfect visual how we can look like those characters. Another one that I like to, the first time I read, when I remember I was in high school, was the Midas touch, right? This is Greek mythology, right? And so, this king had everything. He had money and gold. Well, he had gold at that time and everything. So he made a wish, right? That everything that he touched would turn to gold. Well, little did he know, right? He didn't think about the people that he loved. He didn't think about the food and everything, right? And so, these are things that we start to understand that when we are asking, right? It is normal, friends, for us to find ourselves asking, I need to make payments. I need to pay for this. I need to eat. I need to have a home, car, things for the children at school, clothes, supplies. I know that when, with the pandemic, so many parents had to, really make sacrifices to get technology for the kids. Maybe you yourself, work, my gosh, myself included, all these programs, friends, So it's not that we cannot ask, right? It's the extremes of it. The fact that we think that that's what life is all about, right? It's not about that. It's about our character. It's not about the wealth, right? So it's so important, because it's okay to ask. He wants us to ask. But in this lesson, he's guiding us to, giving us tips, what would be a good way to ask, right? He continues, the Lord provides each being within awareness. That's the line. That is the line, right? Stay in our lane, really, because when we stay in our lane, we're doing our own thing, friends, right? We're not worrying about what's around, right? We're focused and we are growing here inside. And when we're growing inside, things starts to expand, and our prayers, our requests, they start to mature, right? In the Spirit's Book, question 923, it says, is it true that a luxury for one becomes a necessity for another, and vice versa, depending on circumstantial differences? Yes. According to your material ideas, prejudices, ambition, and all the absurd notions that you gradually shed as you come to understand the truth of things. And there's a whole chunk, friends, I encourage you to read. But it ends by saying, those who are wise compare themselves to what is below them, never to what is above, unless it is to raise their soul to the infinite, right? So it's still telling us we have hope, because as we start to evolve, right, our awareness starts to expand. Yes, we're going to understand things, but we are still in that process. We're still very materialistic, right? We think that our prayers are answered based on how much money we get, based on, how our raise, at our job, our salary increase, in other words, right? And, based on what we drive and so forth. Like if I have a better car, all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I'm special. And it's not quite like that, right? As we start to shed all of that materialistic envelope around us, we start to understand that those are just like byproducts, really. But what's essential here is to stay in our lanes, to work on ourselves, so we can become one with the source and expand in our awareness. And when that happens, we start to aim for different things. And that's when our life begins to totally shift. He continues, divine concessions are not aimed for exclusive and personal use, but rather are firstly destined to bear fruits on behalf of their usefulness and peaceful purposes for the collective good. And you notice the picture down there, friends. The collective good is like everything, We're just all, this tapestry woven together. To borrow Anita Moorjani's, from Anita Moorjani's book, right, where she explains that she saw us as we were all interconnected, right? That was like an analogy. And now think about this. In the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 25, item number 2. It says, help yourself and the heavens will come to your aid, right? This is the base of the law of work and consequently the law of progress. Since progress is the child of work, seeing that this puts into action the force of intelligence. During mankind's infancy, he only used his intelligence in seeking food as a means of protection against the climate and defending himself from his enemies. However, God has given man something more than he gave to animals, which is an incessant desire to better himself. Right? It is this desire which impels him to seek out the best ways of improving his position in life, which duly leads him to making discoveries, inventing things, and perfecting the sciences, because science gives him what he likes, right? He or she, friends. So if we notice here, there are two interesting concepts. What is the law of progress, right? Because we're thinking about how does this add up? How does this come into, as we're asking, to help into collective good? Because we think about it, law of progress, right? We go into the Spirit's book. It's not on our own. We are asked to be with others in relationships and in different levels, right? And so those are the ones that as we start to work with that, we start helping, right? We start becoming part of the collective good. And as we are asking, the things that we ask affects things. Because look at, friends, imagine this desire that we have, and as we expand our awareness, we start to make discoveries, inventions, things, right? And it doesn't have to, yes, it's the science, but other things can come about this. Isn't that already elevating the frequency of this planet, right? So, and then we can deduct and infer and continue and take this even deeper, right? Now that is for the collective good, constantly. So these are things for us to think about, right? And as he continues saying, ask the Father for clarity that helps you see the grandiose resources that are at your disposal. Where's our mindset? Where are we holding our mindset, in other words, right? Have we stopped to think about these, or are we still enveloped too much into thinking that our goods, our materialistic goods, are the ones that are really determining how much we are worth? And that is something that we all have to work on, myself included, friends, right? So think about, what do we need to do, right? The Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 25, item 6 says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. This is it. There it is, right? When we're asking, are we asking to collect goods here, or are we doing it already, thinking ahead, being like Jesus, progressive, advanced, ahead of his time? Where we at, friends, right? In the Spirit's books too, item 926, the problems of your world are proportional to the artificial ones that you create for yourselves. People who are able to set limits on their desires and see what is above them without feeling envy, spare themselves many disappointments. The richest person is the one with the fewest needs. There it is. So as we hold our mindset, as we ask for clarity, how are we praying? How are we seeing ourselves, right? And to end, it says here, use your intelligence and capacity to knock on that sacred door of spiritual abundance and channel your strength to search for what enriches your soul, to live a life of strength and inspiration to fulfill those duties that life has assigned you. Right? In other words, we pray. In the book, The Messengers, Andre Luis explained to us this beautiful passage, right? Where it says, pray that God may grant the expansion of your visual abilities. Be mindfully conscious of the grandeur of his sublime gift. And above all, send to the eternal majesty a thought of consecration to his love and divine service. I do not wish to incite you to unwitting, fanatical attitudes. We cannot abuse prayers here, right? Following the corruption of our earthly sentiments as once did, that is, in the carnal realm. We were accustomed to using prayer in obedience to capricious fancies, pleading for easy answers that would be detrimental to our alignment. But here, Andre, prayer is the individual's commitment to God, a commitment involving witness, effort, and dedication to higher purposes. More than anything else, all our prayers should signify a faithful heart. Those in our spiritual condition attune their minds through prayer to the highest spheres, and then a new light shines in all their ways, right? Keep moving down, friends. It says, after various spiritual applications, and this is Andre saying, observe, however, that the magnetic work did not take our conscious sense away. And I took advantage of the opportunity for sincere prayer, which was more of a commitment to work than an act of supplication per se. So we're already given, a huge message, a huge discovery, how really when we pray and when we ask, it's more of a commitment of working, of progress, of evolution, right? And not so much those other things. Those things will come, friends. Those things will come. So there's this beautiful affirmation from You Can Heal Your Life. It says, there's plenty for everyone, including me, right? So if we start to get nervous because we ask and we don't see anything coming, or we think, oh my gosh, when it's my time or anything, let's just take a deep breath, right? And remember, there is plenty for everyone, including me, right? And Dr. Diaz de Cruz says, by doing this, you activate your best resources and will certainly obtain what is essential and sufficient for your life, right? When we pray, when we are in this other frequency, right? And again, and You Can Heal Your Life, just to end with this beautiful affirmation, right? In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. I am one with the power that created me. I have within me all the ingredients for success. I now allow the success formula to flow through me and manifest in my world. Whatever I am guided to do will be a success. I learn from every experience. I go from success to success and from glory to glory. My pathway is a series of stepping stones to ever greater successes. All is well in my world. All right, dear friends, this is the lesson to today. So asking you shall receive. Let's take it up a notch and just trust, friends, that everything's taken care for us. Let me put the slide for our song today. All right, dear friends. So what a beautiful way to end our show today with this song and prayer. Psalms 23. Whenever we are asking, right, this is such a beautiful prayer for us to ask for assistance, to ask for what we need, in such a humble, loving, and compassionate way, right? And thanking God for His mercy. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. In green pastures He makes me lie down. He restores my soul and leads me on for His name. surely mercy right beside me all my days, and I will dwell in your house forever and bless your holy name. All right, friends, beautiful song. And I apologize. This one takes a little bit of the lungs. It's been a long week, but friends, we do this with our humble hearts, and also to take this time to ask permission to the spirits to end the session, and to remind you, friends, there are many other shows here at Kardec Radio. God bless. Until next week.